All right. Here I go. Where do I start? Somebody say when. Okay, here we go. So I don't claim to be an expert on amateur radio, but I do have a license, and I do think it's worth doing. And there are a lot of people here who are nerdy and interested in geeky stuff, so I think you should do it too, and here's why. No, there are some nerdy people here. So what is amateur radio? So it's a set of radio frequencies that have been set aside for people like us to use for personal, non-commercial reasons, and sort of as a way to develop a pool of experts for emergencies. Why is it better than the free stuff that you can get? So you've got a lot more channels than you can use. You've got a lot more power that you can broadcast with, and you have like an unlimited number of frequencies and bands and ways to communicate. You have to pass a test. I'm sorry. It's 35 questions. There are books that you can get. There are practice tests you can do. You can do classes, and you can take it more than once if you want. It costs $10. And they don't do it all the time, but when they do, it's... So this is the best part about it. You say Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. That's what I say. When you guys just say WTF. So it's a lot cooler when you do it the radio way, but you can't do it unless you have the license. So it's totally worth it. What's that? So the real reason is there's a lot of cool places that you can explore in Nevada, and many of them are sort of off the grid when it comes to mobile service, but you can still reach the linked repeater system that's maintained by the local club back here in Reno. So what is a repeater? Do you remember in Lord of the Rings where they lit the fire, the Beacon of Gondor? It's basically just like that, only it's a little more technical. So it lets you sort of broadcast your signal over a much wider range. It does have practical purposes. The Aries and Skywarn are both organized services that broadcast information for the authorities during actual emergencies, and this is real. This actually happened during the floods and the fires. Okay, this is serious. When the aliens attack and they take out all of our communication satellites, it won't affect amateur radio at all. We'll still be able to bounce radio waves off the ionosphere and relay stuff with the phonetic alphabet. So you can get this stuff at Home Depot or the sporting goods store, but it's low power, it's cheap, crappy radios or crappy antennas, and CB is just garbage. I tested some today, it was junk. So you can talk to weirdos. This is really important. So before there was Facebook, there was amateur radio, and it's literally exactly like Facebook. People talk about their day, they talk about their doctor visits, all that stuff. So when you get your license, you can start transmitting. You can say things like, "Hi, I'm listening," and people will start talking to you. Or you can ask for a signal check, or you can talk to somebody directly if you know somebody. I don't know too many people, so I don't do that very often. You can get on the net. So a net is kind of like this, only it's on the radio. There's an organized, there's like an MC. They tell who to talk, when to talk, and it's sort of practice for the whole radio thing and for an emergency, should that ever happen. You can talk to me. Does that sound like fun? I have a radio, I know how to use it, and my call sign is KI7BPX, Kilo India, never mind. So when you go in the backcountry, it's really important to have some way to sort of radio back if you get stuck, if you get injured or lost, or if you want to tweet but you don't have a signal. So you could like call somebody and describe it. So this is where it gets interesting. So the automatic packet reporting system is a way to send packet data through an ad hoc network, and it will reach an internet gateway, and you can access it on the web. And Nico knows what that means. So this is, you can think of this as the poor man's personal locator beacon, because the packets can be text messages, they can be GPS signals, so you can literally track yourself or a friend or something and send messages back and forth just like you can with a DeLorme in reach. You can build stuff. I know a lot of people here like to get geeky and solder and shit. So you can make antennas, you can make your own radios, you can dig as deep as you really want to. A lot of crazy stuff you can do. Tons of fun, you can be prepared. So literally when we had the floods and we had the fires over this last year, I was listening to the radio and getting information about my area, how the floods were affecting our area and how the fires were affecting our area. You don't need a license necessarily to listen, you need a license to broadcast. So if you really want to go native, you can do contesting. They have crazy shit where you try and contact as many people in 24 hours. You can bounce radio waves off the moon. You can talk to the International Space Station. So you go really deep if you want to.